Hello, my name's Zion Sager, and these are my business partners.
Joseph Montes.
Sohan Patel,
Today, we are here to present our marketing campaign on our nonprofit foundation, SafeStride.
5 million. This number represents the individuals who pass away each year due to inadequate access to healthcare. We founded SafeStride in order to help to reduce these numbers. However, to increase our impact, we are creating a marketing campaign to reach as many countries and people as we possibly can.
First, let's go through our tables of contents. So throughout our slideshow, we're going to be going over 6 key concepts: our overview, description, campaign objectives, target market, activities and schedule, and budget. But first, what is SafeStride? So SafeStride Foundation is a non-for-profit organization that offers support and care for individuals with illnesses. From diagnosis to treatment to long-term prevention, we want to provide the information that you need, such as what medicine to use for what sickness or what stretch to use for one injury. Our goal is to make sure that third world countries receive the same amount of resources and those in first.
Through our Global Access to Medical Evaluation campaign, formerly known as GAME, we aim to remove financial aid accessibility barriers to healthcare, allowing people all around the world to receive the same treatment they need to survive as well as thrive. The campaign is split up into multiple phases, each targeting their own demographic to allow an efficient expansion, also while limiting the amount of input data to prevent jams and outages as well as bugs.
Throughout our campaign, we'll be collaborating with other healthcare organizations such as Northwestern Medicine, Johnson & Johnson, and other healthcare organizations. These organizations will help us make sure that SafeStride expands and functions more efficiently.
Now, how does SafeStride work? SafeStride is an AI-powered medical diagnostic tool that allows users to input their data, symptoms, and duration of their illnesses, as well as the current medication to take to provide the best diagnoses possible.
For our cost of SafeStride, we want to make sure that it's as low resource and low data as possible. We do this so that people in third world countries are able to access as easy as possible.
This helps financially disadvantaged individuals avoid hospitals for basic diagnoses that can be addressed due to lifestyle changes.
This service is integrated through an app. Users communicate with an AI chatbot that compiles symptoms and runs them through SafeStride's diagnostic system to provide potential solutions as well as explanations. Users get definitive answers, prevention suggestions based on lifestyle and guidance on whether the issue requires in-person medical attention treatment. Campaign objectives. Phase 1. Phase 1, research and development stages. Phase 1 is the SafeStride campaign implementation. It ensures a correct and medically sound and accessible working application. SafeStride establishes its diagnostic system and symptom insertion application and the data for potentially millions of global users.
Throughout our phase, we want to make sure that we do 3 things. We want to test the accuracy of our system, making sure that any diagnosis that we get is accurate towards to what the client needs. Our second is to create our input system. So to create our diagnostic, we have to create an input system for people to put in their symptoms for a result, which is our input system. And lastly, we want to create an alert system. So any symptoms that might be seen as fatal or anything that can cause death will be sent out to emergency services right away.
Campaign objectives. Phase 2. Phase 2 is an experimental stage as well as integration into small clinics. Phase 2 is essentially built through the use of smaller free clinics. Upon the approval of Phase 1, the next step for SafeStride would be to expand into Phase 2, which we integrated into smaller free clinics and smaller healthcare centers. This stage of Phase 2 serves as an experimental stage.
As I mentioned about the phase 2, as we expand towards the free clinics, and this raises the question for some clinics not fully trust AI diagnostics, but SafeStride will use real-life patient systems with user inputs to contrast the most and give the most accurate diagnostic. It similarly uses how Apple and Google Maps finds the best route for your path. It uses millions of data inputs using databases from Northwestern and Johnson & Johnson to find the best diagnoses possible.
Campaign objectives. Phase 3. Phase 3 is genuinely mainstream expansion and sustainability effort improvements. Once SafeStride is calibrated via Phase 2 small clinic performance, the organization will expand into the next phase, which is Phase 3. This phase of development is about expansion and building credibility so the company can expand globally in the following phases.
Such as Phase 2, Phase 3 is the next step into expanding globally. We want to make sure that during Phase 3, that our databases are moving efficiently, and at the same time trying to avoid outages, making sure that we're ready when we step into the global stage.
Campaign objectives. Phase 4. Phase 4 is about expanding globally. The biggest step of our company is Phase 4 because the phase is the longest, targeting the biggest market, as well as includes stages for a seamless shift. Like Phase 2, demonstrating efficiency in processing data and preventing outages and crashes. We believe this stage is vital because we are solving a problem that impacts individuals globally, hence our target market being third world countries.
As I mentioned, phase 4 could be possibly our biggest phase in our expansion. Phase 4 needs to be used as legitimacy towards as we work with partners at Johnson & Johnson to make sure our global influence is occurred.
Next, we're going to be talking about our target market. So for our core market, as seen in phase 2 and 3, we'll be reflecting and expanding towards U.S. shelters, U.S. free clinics, and low-income community centers. The reason why this is our core market is because without these core markets, we wouldn't be able to expand into our secondary markets and globally. So these are basically our experimental stages to make sure that our data and our system works. Next is our secondary market. Our secondary market is the main key aspect of our system, as like we said earlier, third world countries are the ones that we want to provide resources to make sure that they have the same amount of resources as those in first world countries. And lastly, our influence markets, such as the U.S. Department of Health and other international ministries international ministries. These organizations will help us, like Johnson & Johnson, to make sure that our function goes as efficient as possible.
Campaign and activity schedules. Days 1 through 10 highlight brand awareness as well as positioning. Our goal through days 1 through 10 is to introduce SafeStride and build a recognizable brand presence. And we plan to progress to move from zero visibility to online to move to consistent online awareness. The significance of days 1 through 10 are to create a foundation for all future engagement and credibility.
Days 1 through 10 can be seen as the most impactful. As we're just starting off, we're trying to make sure our brand is the most impactful and well seen.
Days 11 through 22. This phase highlights engagement and community building. Our goal is to turn early viewers into active, involved audience. We plan to progress to shift from zero awareness to interaction from polls, ambassadors, content creators, and events. The significance of days 11 through 22 are boost trust, strengthen community ties, as well as increase algorithm reach. Days 23 to 35 this highlights conversion and call to action. We plan to drive measurable actions like signups, donations, as well as shares. And we plan to progress to transform engagement into real app users, campaign results using organic methods, as well as paid ads and challenges. The significance of this campaign is to generate momentum and expand quickly and fuel campaign growth.
Throughout this phase, our target colleges are going to be colleges that are strongly healthcare based, such as UIC in St. Louis. The goal for this is that if we expand into those colleges, they will be able to expand more and branch out to other colleges, but having a strong base is what matters.
Days 36 through 45. This highlights retention, analytics, as well as extended outreach. Our goal is to sustain interest and convert remaining supporters into global users. And we plan to progress from growth to retention through retargeting and media outreach. The significance of this campaign is to maintain visibility, build loyalty, as well as highlight campaign impact.
Budget. Now, towards our budget, we decided the 180,000 would be financially stable enough for us to start our business. Towards our market, we decided the 101,000 we use towards that. Our main goal we're using towards digital advertising and social media campaigns, using $40,000 of our budget. Partnering with Adobe, we will be able to use paid digital advertising to maximize the trust and visibility before SafeStride will launch in hospitals and international regions.
As someone stated, our main goal is to digitally advertise. The reason for this is because nowadays people are on their phones, and the best way to receive information is from texting, social media, and from news. So with this, SafeStride's message would be transported everywhere quickly.
Adding on to Joseph, the main marketing campaign is word to mouth as well as connecting through influencers and ambassadors.
The second portion of our budget will be going towards our service and development of our app. We decided the 79,000 of our budget will be going towards developing our app and making sure our infrastructure is up to tier. $30,000 will be going towards our engineering department, which we use towards developing our app. This is the most technical portion of the project. Engineering ensures that the AI model uses user interface and system functions operates correctly, and most importantly for our users and corporations. Budget. This budget, we're seeing where our funding is coming from. SafeStride Foundation will achieve its funding through a multi-trend outreach plan. Our first action will be getting corporate sponsors from leading healthcare and technology companies such as Johnson & Johnson and Northwestern Medicine, as well as Google Health. Organizations that collective with us will gain tax-deductible benefits and recognition to impact with the community. This establishes a strong, mutually beneficial partnership. In addition, we will actively pursue government grants and health grants, including the CDC Public Health Grants and NHI Innovation Grants. These grants will be critical in supporting our development costs during our global expansion moving forward.
During our global expansion, we have key metrics in which indicators that show that SafeStride is thriving at the same time growing. Our key metrics are split into three categories: user engagement, accuracy, and donations. For user engagement, it's basically how much people engage in our app. This counts as like how many people input their systems, get the correct diagnosis, and at the same time, how much the rate of user engagement is growing, making sure that SafeStride is constantly growing globally.
Here at SafeStride Foundation, the people rely on us to have a strong, reliable database. This could be measured by the number of people being successfully treated according to what the patient was giving. Donations. The amount of donations SafeStride receives from outside sources. Not only would this help fundraise goals that allow SafeStride to give more to the community, but prove what SafeStride has reached a wide variety of people.
It is important for us to keep these key metrics intact: user engagement, accuracy, and donations. As Joseph and Ian have both spoken about it, these key metrics are one of the most important in our development. User engagement towards us will keep towards how we can correctly and keep advancing our system. Accuracy towards us, we always want to give the best possible diagnosis to our patients while also giving the best beneficial answer. Donations, as I mentioned earlier with the budget, this will give us the best possible way to improve our access and give us the best global reach towards it. This is our bibliography and where our works cited work is from. And thank you for your time.